All right, guys, welcome back. It's been a minute since we've done a podcast. Just because been super busy, a lot of new projects. We'll talk about that a little bit. But more importantly, I just don't do them unless I really, really want to these days. I've been really wanting to interview or more just have a long conversation, documented conversation with Damien for a while. Got a lot of cool businesses, a really cool story. But before we get into that, this is the I don't do sponsorships or any of that shit. So this is the last opportunity for this cohort of Outliers. If you guys are new here, Outliers is essentially my private group for founders, investors, top talent, creatives. We got artists, athletes, pretty much anyone who's young and in the top 1% of the 1% of our age group. I think the ages range from 19 to 51, I think, is the oldest guy, but it's mainly guys in their 20s. So if you're a young killer, if you've done over 7 figures in your business and your creative endeavors and your ventures, whatever, and you're interested in joining, now's the last chance. I'll leave a link to apply below. But without further ado, bro,
let's get it.
Welcome on.
Thank you, bro. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I'll give a little intro for Damien, and then we'll get right into his story, the deeper parts of it. But very young, successful entrepreneur. What I think is really, really cool about your story is you had an exit very early. And that's kind of the first thing I want to talk about. But, before that, right now, you have a couple different companies you're building. What's the main one right now?
It's a gummy company.
Company.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you guys doing? You said 3 million this year?
Yeah, we're going to hit 3 million this year. Majority sold on TikTok Shop and Amazon.
Okay. So that'll be really interesting to get into and talk about, because
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are curious how to start. They kind of look at it as new marketplace, new field. They don't know where to start. So I'm curious to hear your strategy and what you're doing, because we're getting started on TikTok Shop as well. We've been direct to store so far, pretty much.
Yeah.
But that wasn't your first company, right? How many businesses have you started?
Before this one, I'd say 2. So my first one, freshman year during college, dropped out and was like, I got to figure some shit out. So I met one of my buddies because I lost a vape at a frat party. And I basically posted on my Snapchat story. I was like, hey, lost my vape. Anyone got a extra one? And this guy who I haven't seen, shout out Ben, replied to my story. I was like, I'm actually 10 minutes away from you. Because during that time, I was living 20 minutes outside the city for college. And he swiped up. He was like, I'm going to be there in 10 minutes. He came to my house and we started catching up, and we were just like, what have you guys been up to, kind of thing. And he told me that he started a digital marketing agency. And to me at the time, I was like, what the fuck is digital marketing? And I was like, how much are you making from that? And he was like, 20 grand a month. I was like, what the fuck? So then I just went down this deep rabbit hole. He gave me my first business book, which was Rich Dad Poor Dad. Have you read that one?
Of course.
Yeah. I feel like that's the natural progression.
There's a couple of main ones that everyone starts with, and then you just start going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. And then I just went down a rabbit hole on YouTube, how to make money online. Ended up got this ad from this OG course seller called Kevin David. I don't know if you know who that is, but I'm pretty sure he's in a lawsuit right now for $20 million for scamming.
seems like all those guys are, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to call out anyone specifically.
But anyways, I bought his course. It was $997 on how to sell on Amazon FBA. And then for the next 6 months, I was just basically trying to find a product, and ultimately landed on a meditation cushion. So that was my first ever company. I launched that in September of 2019. Yeah, September, August 2019. And that was my first thing. And then my second thing was a protein cookie company.
Well, before the protein cookie company, which was a success, how did the meditation cushion go?
Yeah, we scaled up to our highest month ever was 50 grand a month.
That's not bad for first business.
Terrible, yeah. To me at the time, that was a lot of money.
Yeah, in college, that's definitely a lot. And why did you pick that? I imagine you did some research, right? There was some market research, some data. You're like, okay, there's a trending product.
Yeah, it was mainly okay, what is the keyword search? So for Amazon, right, there's keyword searches, how many people are looking it up a month. And I think at the time it was 20,000 searches a month. And when you look at the first page of Amazon, you kind of look at the reviews, right? So for example, if the first page, every single product has 100, 200 reviews, that means that you can pretty much rank super easily on that keyword. Versus if you're selling apple cider vinegar or something. If you could type that in, there's probably like Goalie with like 60,000 searches, 60,000 reviews. So it was a mixture of, how many reviews, search volume, is there room to kind of differentiate? If you guys look it up, it's called Unique Wellness Meditation Cushion. It came in like a beautiful kind of gift-friendly packaging.
Oh, it's still selling?
No,
Oh.
but you can probably find it online somewhere.
Okay.
Came in a nice box, came in a duffel bag with the cushion itself. Bought it for like $9 and we sold it for like 49.
It's a pretty good margin.
Yeah, it's not bad.
From China?
From China, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so then how long after that did you get into what's the name of the protein company again?
Effing Good.
Effing Good. I think that's a great name.
Yeah.
And so how old were you when you started that? Or
20 or 21. 2021.
And how long after that first business did you stumble across that product?
Yeah, so I stopped doing the cushion probably in 2020, and then I started the cookies in 2021 during COVID.
And what?
Because I had nothing else to do besides like bake and work out. And I got really, really into baking. I was living with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and there was really nothing else for us to do except bake. And so I made these like protein cookies because I tried the Quest ones and they were horrible. So I was like, I think I can make something better. And I just started giving them to friends and they liked it. And I was like, fuck it, let me just make a cookie company.
I love that, dude. That's exactly how I started my business. I feel like there's two ways you go. You either do a shit ton of research, you look at all the data, you go, okay, trending product here, general trend here, maybe it's health and wellness, maybe it's nutraceuticals, maybe it's something with collagen, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then you start with the data and then you pick a product where everyone is moving, and then there's the other types of people, or sometimes
scratching your own itch, solving your own problem.
Literally, bro. Like,
I feel like those businesses are always more fun to run.
They're definitely more fun. I think they're a lot more difficult in the start because
you're trying to make something new.
You're maybe not even necessarily something new. I mean, that's challenging in and of itself, but like when you build a business around a product just because you wanted it and not because other people necessarily want it without doing the research or the data, it can work, but it's definitely more challenging in the beginning. Like for me, like I wanted to make a cool pair of workout shorts. I couldn't find any workout shorts I liked. And I didn't do any research. I didn't know anything about clothing. I didn't know anything about e-commerce. I didn't know anything about anything, to be honest. And then
jumped right into it.
Jumped right in and, soon realized like after, a year of selling.
Shit is fucking hard.
This shit's hard, dude. But we made it work though. It's going really well right now. But
yeah. My thinking is always just like, if I have this problem, chances are that other people would too.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%.
Yeah. So
at that point, for anyone watching that's like never started a business, maybe they have an idea for something. Everyone's got an idea, right? But maybe they have an idea for something. They're like, I know this would be big. What's the like step 1 through 10 of getting from an idea to like your first product and then launching it? Or what was it for you?
What was it like back then, or what is it like now?
Well, let's do a comparison. Like, what did you do back then, and what would you have done differently if you could redo it?
If I were to redo it, I would move a lot faster. It took me from the moment that I actually bought that course to the moment I actually launched my first ever product. It was probably like 8 months, and I think I could have done it in like 2.5.
For sure. I mean, it took me like a year to make the LLC.
But I think a lot of it is not like.
So you ever met someone and they're like, I'm gonna start a business. I'm working on the LLC, and now that you've been on the other side of that, you're like, what? Yeah. You're like, oh, okay, bet, bro.
Yeah, looking back on it, I was kind of like a dumbass too. I paid a lot of attention to things that didn't really fucking matter.
That's how everyone starts, though.
How do I actually make an LLC? Like, what do I have to worry with taxes? It's like none of that shit matters until you make sales.
100%, bro.
So like nowadays, whenever I launch something, I'm like, I try to get a sale as fast as possible to see if it actually works. But back then, I mean, LLC, figuring out taxes, like how do I pay myself, like all the shit that doesn't actually matter. But you live and you learn, I'd say. But I think finding the right product is majority of the hard work. One of the biggest lessons I think I've learned over the past like 6 years is it doesn't matter what boat you're in, but sorry, no, I fucked that up. It doesn't matter how hard you row, but what boat you're in.
Yeah.
So like product market fit is like everything. And with
picking the right market.
In the right market. Yeah. If you can capitalize on like a growing trend, like, I mean, look at like beef tallow, you know, shit like that. But yeah, I'd say step 1 to 10. What I would do is I would find the right product. So make sure it has good margins, has subscription potential. Like that's one thing that I've learned with the past 2 businesses, especially with the cushions. It's like someone buys it once, they're probably not going to buy something again. So must have subscription.
Or some sort of LTV, right?
Yeah, exactly. Solve some sort of insecurity or problem. Ideally, like something that is super painful that someone would pay a lot of money to solve. So like weight loss, hair loss, acne, bloating, lust, all that sort of stuff. And like one of my favorite examples for that is like, have you heard of the company Jolie?
Yeah, of course. I just bought one actually.
Did you actually?
I haven't had it installed yet, but it's sitting on my
it's great. I love that
counter.
company.
You have one?
Yeah, I have one.
So is it like life changing or whatever?
I mean, I like.
I'll send the payment link in the description. Jolie.
You got to get an affiliate link after this. But I love that company and a company called Clean Skin Club because I mean shower filters have been around for so long. Same with like paper towels, but they just found an angle to talk about, which is acne and hair loss, and they just positioned their product against it, and it's a much better play than saying this just cleans your water. You know what I mean?
That's such a good lesson that. You don't necessarily need to create something new or reinvent the wheel. You just need a new angle.
100%.
And I remember like we were really at a bottleneck. We had a bottleneck for a while. We just couldn't get above like whatever it was, $100K a month. And I really thought like, well, maybe there's just too many clothes out there.
Yeah.
Maybe there's too many activewear brands. I never thought about giving up, but I was like, this is just so tough. We just couldn't get past it. And then I met my mentor who fucking is doing like $500 million this year selling hoodies and sweats. That's more saturated than activewear. Hoodies and sweats.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, you need to have your angle.
100%. Yeah. I mean, you can't really invent something new nowadays unless, you know, but you just got to find an angle that no one else is talking about.
Yeah.
Like for example, if you're selling, wow, this is putting me on the spot. Like a bloating product. Like there's so many different bloating products, but how can you find like an angle, right? It's like, okay, who are you selling to? What problems do they have? Read the reviews. So like, for example, I know that girls wake up feeling super bloated and pregnant. Like, can you sell a de-bloat PM? Like something that someone drinks before they go to bed so that they don't have to wake up feeling pregnant. So like that would be a super unique angle that you can carve in a super saturated market where everyone's just selling like a Me Too kind of de-bloat product.
Yeah, and as long as you have great UGC, massive amounts of volume, then you can probably scale that. There you go. Someone take that.
Yeah, someone please take that. But yeah, find a product, find a manufacturer, get quotes. What I like to do nowadays is I like to do like a validation strategy. So I didn't coin this, but I took it from the guy who started Kettle and Fire, Justin something Mares. Do you know him?
I know the business, but I don't know.
Yeah. But I read this post, like a blog post, like a year ago, and I thought it was genius. But basically, what he did and what I do nowadays is you basically create a landing page. You create like a mock-up of the product, couple ad creatives, and then you just set a price. And then you just run those ad creatives on Meta to see if you can get like purchases. And if you can get some, then you just like send out an email to people saying like, hey, we don't actually have the product, so we can offer you a refund, that sort of stuff.
The Kill Crew guys used to do that all the time.
The who?
The Kill Crew. You ever heard of Kill Crew? That's why I started my business actually, because I saw them doing it, and I was like, oh, I could probably do that. But they would do the same thing. They would just slap a ton of different designs on shorts. Yeah. It didn't even look like a real product. That's the thing. Yeah. You could low-key tell that it was like there was some sus shit there, but like you would click on one of the ads, you'd buy it, and then you'd get an email saying, oh, sorry, like our shipment got delayed, whatever. Yeah. And so I think it's like consciously making the decision to not procrastinating making that first sale. And so I'd say like if you're juggling a couple ideas, just make 3 landing pages, couple ad creatives, run all of those. Whichever one does the best, just roll with that one. I made the mistake of just like jerking off and just like worrying about the wrong shit. That's just the process though, you know? It takes so like I think every entrepreneur looking back, if they were asked could you go back and do it significantly faster? They would say, yeah.
100%.
Right? But that's what's so cool about entrepreneurship and starting your own business is like, there's really no such thing as losing. You can fail, but then you just start over and do it again. Like, if anything, I think so many people are afraid, like, what if I start a business and it fails? If anything, you starting a business and failing is probably the best thing that could ever happen to you,
100%.
because you're going to learn a lot and you're now going to find an even better industry, a better product, whatever. Like,
it would be so rare for someone to start their first business and hit gold.
Yeah.
Because like you don't know what you
I don't know anybody. Not a single person.
You don't know anyone? I'm trying to think.
Every person, not a successful person, every person that I know that, oh, actually, you know what? The one guy I do know who's crazy successful, who it was his first business, is another guy. My last podcast guest, who's in Outliers as well. His name's Michael Suki. He's here in Austin as well. They're doing like fucking, I don't know, 60, 70 million a year.
What do
solar
they sell?
Company, third year.
What do they sell?
Solar.
No way.
Yeah.
Damn.
He figured out like a hack in the solar industry pretty much.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, he like completely, because it was all these like old heads. And he kind of came in with like this new approach and just dominated.
Yeah.
And he started as a solar sales rep.
Interesting.
And then was like, I'm going to start my own I see all these inefficiencies. I'm going to start my own company.
Smart.
So for anyone watching, if someone wanted to start an e-commerce brand, there's going to be a lot of people that are thinking like, I don't have enough money and, it's just not for me. Like, how much money do you need, you think?
I mean, I started my first brand with like $5,000 and I got like, I think it was the pillow one. Yeah. I got like 500 units. And then I just reinvested all the profits into buying 1,000 units and 2,500 units and 5,000 units. But I mean, I don't think realistically you can start a brand for like less than $5,000.
Yeah, no, I think five. I started mine with 5. My co-founder, my cousin, put in 4.
Yeah. Yes.
If you can't get $5,000, bro, you're fucking cooked. Someone was commenting that on my video the other day. Well, not everyone has $5,000. I'm like, dude, sorry, bro. Like, fucking figure it out, bro.
Yeah, get a job.
Is that your excuse, bro?
I mean, I saved up my $5,000. I was working at a place called Bridges back in Vancouver during the summer, and I saved up my money there, and then I started my brand. Dude, so yeah,
$5,000.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta figure it.
I sold Viagra.
Really?
That's how I got my money for the $5,000, right? I sold Viagra and alcohol.
Yeah, I sold weed in high school, and I blew it all on alcohol.
Dude, it's actually funny the number of founders I meet that this is horrible.
Yeah.
Not giving this advice to anyone, but the number of founders that I meet that like sold some sort of
substance,
and that's how they got their money to start their first. Because the truth is, like, selling drugs is a business, right? You need a product. There needs to be demand. You got to undercut the competition.
Baby, I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah, dude. It's like, I know a lot of people that started that way, which is horrible. But
I say $5,000.
It was probably the first business ever. It's like you're bartering, you're trading things, right?
Yeah, and buy low, sell high, baby.
Yeah. But I really like what you said about not getting distracted by the things that don't matter.
Yeah,
right? Like,
get your first sale as fast as possible. Like, don't worry about the other shit. Like, everything can be solved by more sales.
You don't even need a fucking website in the beginning. Like, come up with your idea for a product, get a sample. Once you have a sample, show it to your friends, show it to your peers, show it to your mom's friends if it's like a debloating product for them or something. Like, bring your sample, your product to whoever you think is going to be your ideal customer, get their feedback. If they like it, order 100 units, 500 units, something small. Go start selling fucking pull up to people's doors if you have to.
Yeah, do whatever you can. I mean, I'll tell you an interesting story on how I sold my first 4,000 units of cookies.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
So what I started doing, this was back in like...
How much did you put into that, by the way?
15.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, 15. What was I going to say?
And did you make them in the States? A co-packer or something?
Yeah, Cali. Horrible co-packer. I'm not going to name them, but
I've hear a lot of horror stories about co-packers.
Absolutely horrible co-packer. Took me like a year to actually get something out.
Wow.
But so I started posting TikToks in 2021. First ever TikTok I made was about how I dropped out of college to start a cookie company. And I still remember this. It was like December 2021. And it was at like 1 a.m. I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw this one girl who was talking about how she quit her full-time job to start like a boba company. And that video got like 3 million views. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna rip this video.
Hell yeah.
So I made this video at like 1 a.m. on like a random Tuesday. Woke up the next day, it was at like 20,000 views. I was like, holy shit. And in my TikTok link in bio, I had like an opt-in page where people can like put in their emails and their name and all that stuff. And over the next like week, that video got, I think it's up to like 800,000 views now.
Damn.
And I got 4,000 people on an email list. And then that was December. And so our production run wasn't going to be done till like April. And so throughout the next month, what I did was I basically emailed everyone every single week, be like, hey guys, like, you know, we're in production right now. Like it should be done here. Or like, hey guys, you know, I'm feeling kind of stressed. Like they said they're going to finish it by this day, but it's like delayed. So just kind of like documenting the process.
That's fire.
On email and then also on TikTok. And the way we kind of like did it was we ended the email saying like, reply to this with I'm in if you're like going to buy on the first day or something. And so like it kind of like juiced the email engagement a lot.
Yeah.
And I knew that I wasn't going to launch till like April, and this was first week of January. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do a pre-order. And so on January 27th of 2022 or 2021, we basically sent out an email saying like the week before saying, hey, we're going to do pre-orders. We only have 4,000 units. We have 5,000 people on this email list. Like, go get it.
That's a great way to frame it.
Yeah. And we said like, we haven't even promoted this on social media, which is going to be more people. And so we sent out that email, funny story, put together the entire website. It didn't save. And so the night before we were actually going to launch the pre-orders, I stayed up till like 6 a.m, like putting it back together. And I didn't wake up till 10 a.m. But the email went out at 9 a.m. And so when I woke up, it was like ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Like that entire sound. It was like the best sound of all time.
Let's go, dude. How much did you guys make on that launch?
Like 30 grand.
Nice, bro. That's such a good
it was
story
crazy money, bro.
And lesson for anyone young starting a business for the first time, wanting to start a business. You really got to do whatever it takes. So much of it is about FOMO and scarcity and urgency. You know, especially these days with so many businesses out there, and like a lot of people are getting really, really good at marketing. You have to create some sort of scarcity, hype, or urgency.
Yeah.
Or a flash sale, or convince people that they have to buy. Like, you just cannot, even if your product is great, the last thing you want is someone saying, oh, that's dope, I'll go check this out later.
Yeah.
You got to force them to buy now, however you can.
Yeah.
That's a great like launch story, honestly.
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
So what was the date on that? Or the month, maybe?
January 27th. That was when we launched pre-orders. And then we didn't ship shit out till like April or May. But then during that time, we just kept everyone like updated with like weekly emails. We had probably had like 5 refunds.
That's what Jake, do you know Jake Levy, right? Jake Levy, he did the same thing.
Yeah.
He posted on TikTok. I think documenting your story as a young entrepreneur is
the dopest thing.
It's not even it's a necessity these days.
I think so, yeah.
You're at a disadvantage if there's a face attached to your brand and you're a cool, likable person and people trust you. Like, that is such an advantage your business has that a lot of other businesses don't, because their founders just aren't willing to. I don't want people to know who I am. I don't 100%. Want to be in front of the camera.
Yeah, I mean, also I think it's just cool because you can look. I was like scrolling on my phone the other day and I was looking at like old pictures and I was like, I'm so happy that like I filmed this part. You know, I can show my kids this.
That's a great way to look at it too. Yeah, like I want to document my story. I don't know if that was you and I that was talking about this the other day, but I was talking to someone about how like we see so little of our parents as is, and we know so little of their stories. Like, I remember there was this book that popped off on TikTok Shop called like "Mom, I Want to Hear Your Story." Remember that one? Yeah. Whoever fucking wrote that 30-page book made millions.
Millions.
I'm so jealous of that one. But it's like, and I would get pissed seeing all these TikTok Shop videos like, if your parents are still alive, don't pass up on this opportunity. I'm like, this guy just made 100 grand commissions on this one video.
Yeah.
But the truth is, that's such a great product because there really is a need for that, because we don't know anything about our parents. They're so, they're so like unwilling to share stories usually, especially our dads. And so for you to document your story, and if one day for your kid to be able to go back and watch all that, bro, that's a gift you're giving them. So
100%, yeah.
And then if it benefits your business on top of that.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I think we built a pretty dope community of just people like, because I feel like no one actually wants to see infographics on an Instagram page, you know? Like people want to follow people's story, even if it's for like the wrong reasons, like seeing if they actually fail. You know, like look at Jake Paul.
That's what mine is.
Like, look at you, look at Jake Paul. Like people want to watch him to see him get knocked out. Or they just want to like see your story and kind of see how you come up. So I'm a big believer in documenting your journey, whether through like video or even like text, you know, like Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever.
Yeah. That's why we should have done a better job of that, really like walking people through the process of our business in the early days. Okay. So you launched it. You had a really successful launch.
Yeah.
You know, compared to the size of the order and everything. And then you scaled this business for how long before you guys decided you wanted to sell?
From 2021 to April 2024.
Is when it sold.
Yeah.
2020. So what is that? 3.5 years?
3.5 years, yeah.
3.5 years. And why did you want to sell?
For the money.
but like, okay, so what made you think I'm gonna make more money and it's more worth my time to exit now?
Bro,
versus
I was paying myself $2,000 a month with that business. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone knows the margins of food companies, but they're not great. That's why you see like food companies having to raise like hundreds of millions of dollars to even scale. It's because, I mean, think about it. You're like buying something for $1, $2, and you can sell it for $5 max.
Well, but that's the thing about food and drinks as well. Like water companies, is like, the margins are ass and you're unprofitable for fucking a decade.
But you can have a huge payoff at the end.
If you can last.
If you can last.
Like look at like Pathwater, bro.
Yeah. I mean, we raised $25,000. That's like the most we got.
You raised? I didn't know you raised.
Like friends and family.
Nice. How much did you give away? What was the valuation at that point?
We gave it away at $100,000.
You gave away 25% of the company?
No, 10%.
Wait, how does that make sense?
Wait, hold on.
You got 25K.
25K.
At 100.
Yeah, 25%. Sorry.
Damn. Okay, you gave away 25% right off the rip.
Yeah, to my parents.
Did you have a co-founder?
It's a complicated story.
Okay, we'll skip that part. All right, so you scale this thing, you sold it. How much did you sell for?
High six figure. I can't say.
Okay, yeah, it's a high six figure. That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
How old? 23.
23. Yeah.
23. Okay, so close to $1 million payout. We'll say around there. 23 years old. That's sweet. What was that process like?
I mean, it started back in August of 2023. So that's what, like 8 months? Yeah, 8-month process.
8-month process. Is that pretty normal?
Yeah, it's pretty normal. I've heard people like take like a year and a half to actually get the deal done. But it started in August. I got connected to a guy who basically owns a private equity, and they have a bunch of other better for you stacking companies. And so that kind of started the conversation, sent in financials, like letters of intent, like all of that stuff. And I mean, during those 8 months, it's a weird kind of feeling because you're like, I might sell it, I may not sell it, but you kind of gotta keep business going,
Yeah.
It's like a weird feeling.
How many hours a day was that taken out of your time to work on the actual business?
Probably like at least 4 hours a day. It's
4 hours a day for 8 months?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's kind of what I've heard.
Because it's a lot of like it's a lot of calls going back and forth, preparing documents, like all that shit. I mean, you've raised money, right?
I raised money.
I mean, it's a full-time job too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing.
The problem with that, or not the problem, but the difficult part with selling a business, from what I understand, what I've heard is, you're spending money on lawyers, you're taking time away from the business, you're 8 months in, 7 months in, whatever.
Yeah.
At that point, you're probably so fucking fed up. You're probably like, all right, you just take whatever offer they give you.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I know 2 guys who have recently sold their companies for like a significant amount of money, and it's taken around that like 1 year timeline. And I talked to them recently, and I'm like, hey, like, how do you feel? It's like, I'm just glad it's over.
Yeah.
And like, you're just kind of like drained and like exhausted from the whole process, that like, you're just happy it's done.
That's what Rob told me. Rob the bank.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, they fuck you. Like they come in, they fucking lowball the shit out of you at the very end because they know that you're, But I wonder if you're able to continue to actually scale your business while you're going through that acquisition process,
Yeah.
you think about it like, okay, you've put all this time in, 4 hours a day, you've spent 50 grand on lawyers, whatever, like, so has the private equity firm. And especially if you've actually been able to scale your business and not just coast, I wonder if there is a way to shift the power dynamic at the very end and be like, you know what, guys, like we were expecting to grow 60% by this time this year, but we grew 100. So
honestly,
I want
bro,
a 10x.
Yeah,
Of
honestly,
a
bro,
7x.
I was like so checked out from that business. I mean, I was running it for like 3 years, just like
Solo?
eating shit. I had like a partner at one
Yeah.
point. But yeah, that's a complicated story.
Okay, so wait, so 8 months, 4 hours a day. What are they trying to ask you in those 4 hours? Like,
they're just asking for like P&Ls, like documents, opportunity of growth, a lot of phone calls, making sure everything's like legit, transferring of everything, and just having like lawyers kind of take a look at, and like accountants too, taking a look at like your financials and all that stuff.
I would worry that you're essentially giving away the secret sauce to an organization that has all of the resources and ability and talent to go and just fucking rip it off.
Well, yeah, their thing is just like they didn't have a cookie company, and so they wanted to bring one on instead of starting new.
But think about that though for a second. What if they did, like? What if you just told them this is my manufacturer. These are my margins.
Oh, we didn't tell them the manufacturers and anything.
Okay, but like still though, that's really not that complicated.
Yeah.
Part. Like, you know what? Does that make sense though? Like, that's what I would be worried about. Is like, if someone were to try and acquire, I don't even want to sell, but if someone were to try,
knowing what I know
gave
now,
up my UGC system or whatever, like they could literally just go rip it off.
I mean, knowing what I know now, if I do end up selling the current company, I have right now, I would have done it like differently. But I was just a naive 23-year-old kid trying to just like make my first bit of money.
Okay, so let's talk about it though. What would you like for anyone going through it right now? Maybe they're thinking about raising. I mean, not sorry, they're thinking about exiting.
We actually exited at probably one of the worst times too.
Really?
Our last 3 months were down month over month. But we got like an offer on the table. I was dealing with some stuff with my partner at the time, and I needed like capital. And so we just it was more of like how do you put this? Like a desperation sell.
What kind of valuation did you get on the yearly revenue you guys were doing?
A 1x.
A 1x on yearly or not EBITDA, right?
On revenue.
Okay.
Yeah, 1x on revenue.
Is that normal? Is that super low? Is that...
No, dude. I've seen food companies get acquired for like four times revenue. Mm-hmm. So we sold probably at the worst possible time, but at the same time, I don't regret it because it gave me capital so that I can have like a little bit peace of mind.
Yeah. And now you're in a better opportunity.
Now I'm in a better opportunity. But I think I learned everything about business running that cookie company. It like taught me what I wanted and what I didn't want in a brand. I would never touch food again though. Never. Ever.
What are the 3 biggest reasons why not to touch food?
Requires a lot of capital. Not great margins. You need incredible economies of scale to make it work. Versus if you sell like beauty or supplements, you turn that over so quickly cash wise.
Yeah.
Versus like food, it's like a very, very slow process.
And you got to worry about expiration too, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly. So
okay, so if you could go back and you had 3 minutes to warn younger Damien, like, hey, the second you made that phone call saying, hey, we're interested in selling, like, what would you tell him? 3 things.
Like someone called me to say like, I was thinking of selling.
On that first day when you got in contact with whatever representative from that private equity firm, and you've decided, okay, I am going to sell, that's for sure. If you could go back and tell younger Damien 3 pieces of information to help him through that process or potentially make a better outcome at the end, what would you say?
I think scale it back up for the next 3 months and be patient. Don't get greedy. And I think like control what you can control. I think those are kind of the three. But like I said, I don't regret it at all. I would have definitely done things differently, but I think, you kind of live and you learn, and
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, but like I learned so much from that business, and even if I didn't get like an outcome out of that, I would have been fine right now because I learned just like so much from that.
Yeah,
it was a brutal fucking grind for 3 years, like legit. It was like the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Yeah,
like $2,000 a month, dude. I barely could pay rent.
Bro, I feel you there. If I didn't have social media, I don't know what I'd be doing.
Yeah,
because I didn't pay myself the first 6 months of the year. Just started, still making less than some of my employees.
Yeah,
but
I don't think people realize that with like e-com, the more you grow, the less you can kind of pay yourself. In a way.
Yeah, dude, I was just talking to someone. Who was it? I was just talking to someone a few days ago, and they're like, I'm thinking about getting into e-com. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah, I think if you have patience and you can see it out for the next 3 to 5 years, pay yourself a very minimal salary, then I would say do it.
Yeah.
But if you're just trying to get your first $100,000 liquid, then I don't think that's like the best vehicle for sure.
I think, well, the one like, I think there's two benefits to e-commerce that no one really talks about. One of them is from a skill standpoint, and one of them is from a branding standpoint, your personal brand, your notoriety. I think the great part about e-com is once you can pull something off in e-com, you really can do anything, in my opinion. Like we were just talking about this when we were at coffee the other day. There's so many amazing stories and great examples of founders who did well in e-com. Maybe they made like low 8 figures, sold a business, they made like 10, 20, 30 million. And then they got into SaaS or web apps or tech or software. And then that's how they got there.
Gives you a lot of
$200 million exit.
Yeah.
Because the thing about e-com is like, and Blake Anderson is also a great example of this.
He's the Cal AI guy?
Yeah, Cal AI, UMax, RISGBT, all that. So the reason I point him out is because e-commerce essentially always is like the first to adopt the newest marketing, the newest trends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with UGC, like the first companies, the first brands to utilize UGC were drop shipping and e-commerce, right? And then after a while, then like the guys in the app space and the AI space, like then they start noticing like, wait a minute, like,
yeah, I mean,
we can apply that here.
You look at that right now with like TikTok Shop, right? You're trying to get as many people posting as many different videos on as many different accounts as possible.
Yeah.
And like now you look at Cal AI, Quitter, Cluely, like all these different
fastest growing apps in the country right now.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
And so
the same thing.
They're taking like marketing methods that were, I don't want to say invented, that were popularized by e-commerce brands, right? So I think that's the number one asset of being in e-commerce is if you can figure it out,
you learn a lot too, like operations, finance, like
so many
moving product,
pieces,
so many different moving pieces.
So many moving pieces. It's so annoying. Like the supply chain, like you get into e-commerce. This is how I look at it. Everyone gets into e-commerce because you're like, I have a great idea for a product.
It's a sexy business.
Yeah, it's sexy. So that was the second part. It's like you get into it because you're like, oh, I have a great idea for a product, and how cool would my friends think I am if I had like a clothing brand or
that's why
candy company.
That's why I wanted to get into it. It's like, how cool would it be if like my friends use my product?
It's cool. Yeah. And there's actually nothing cooler than seeing someone eat your product, right? If you have a protein bar or you have a cookie, like watching someone enjoy
something that
product you made is so sick. Someone buying your clothes, seeing someone at the gym wearing my shorts, like that's sick. But you make no money. But you learn a lot, but what no one gets into e-commerce expecting, in my opinion, is the fucking supply chain side of things.
Brutal. Bro, we ran out of stock for like 2 months back in September for my new company. And we probably lost out on like $300,000.
Yeah.
Like we went on like a generational run on like TikTok Shop, and we lost that momentum. And it was like the hardest thing to ever get back.
Yeah.
And so I think that's also another good piece of advice is like, if you have hype, if you have momentum on your side, try your best not to lose it. Otherwise, it's very hard to get back.
But then you run into that issue of like, For example, if you have momentum and you're like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to throw my balls on the table. I'm going to place the biggest order I've ever placed in my life. I don't even have enough money to do it. So I'm going to max out a credit card or take out a fucking PayPal loan or whatever, a Shopify credit loan. Like, you do that.
Yeah.
And then what happens if that momentum dies before the product arrives? You're fucking cooked, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's like what happened to us in the early days. And then you got to go raise money. And then so there's just so many moving parts of e-commerce.
Yeah.
And then if you can get into AI,
what is this guy
apps,
about?
then if you can get into the ass, if you can get into like AI or tech or anything, you have one product and you could sell it 1 million times.
Yeah.
So
much more scalable.
I think that's usually like the typical storyline that people go through. But that being said, once you do figure out e-commerce, it's actually not that hard to do it again. You got the connections, you have the channels, you have
you understand marketing. Yeah, exactly. I love e-com though. I think it's great. It's a great business model because like the way I think about it is like now that I'm like in a more financially stable place that I don't need to operate from a place of lack, I can run my brand so much more differently and like aim to exit it for $50-100 million versus just like making really rash short-term decisions within the brand, which was how I did it in the cookie company, you know?
Yeah, you got to go through that though.
Yeah, for sure.
After you exited, what did you do? Did you go on a little hiatus? Like,
no,
did you get right into the next thing?
Yeah, I mean, I bought a car, did the typical stuff, traveled a little bit.
What kind of car?
I got a Porsche. Yeah.
I saw it. It's pretty sweet. It's all outside.
Yeah. But dude, I mean, after a month or and a half, I would say, it just kind of like fades away a little bit. And you're like, this is kind of baseline. And so during that time was when TikTok Shop started like popping off. This was like April of last year. And I had met a buddy at the gym, Albert, who runs a company called ProMix, and met him in the sauna, got coffee with him, and was telling him about like TikTok Shop. And he was like, you know, we're looking to crack that channel. Do you have any experience? I was like, fuck yeah, I have experience.
Did you?
No, bro. I had no experience with TikTok. Well, I did like, you know, make TikToks, but I didn't have experience with TikTok Shop.
No, but I love that, bro. That's what it takes.
Yeah.
That's how you know someone's got it. Like they see an opportunity. They're like, yeah, I'm your guy,
fuck
bro.
Yeah, dude. I know how to do it. I mean, I think I'm like pretty good at Amazon. So I was like, if I can figure Amazon, I mean, how hard can TikTok Shop be?
Yeah.
And so I worked as a contractor for ProMix, you know, getting paid to learn how to actually run TikTok Shop. First month, I think we did like 20 grand. And then second month, we did like 40 or 50. And then third month, we did like 110. And so like during those 3 months, I was like, holy shit, like you can have one video get posted and, you know, you get $20,000 in sales from it, which has never been seen before, you know, like it's a win-win-win situation.
It was also a little inflated though back then.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there was like the subsidies and all. Like I posted TikTok Shop videos that got like 50K sales and I didn't deserve it at all.
Yeah. I mean, I still see that shit nowadays. Like I have a buddy who runs a supplement brand that does like $9 million a month.
Wow.
And like one of his top video made like 140 grand.
Jesus.
Which is stupid. An AI video too.
An AI video?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was stupid. I'll show you it after. But yeah, so during that time, I basically learned how to run TikTok Shop, started kind of like a mini agency. It was like Albert then referred me to another brand and then another brand and another brand. And I was managing like 5 different brands at once on their shop. And at one point I was just like, I fucking hate this. Like I hate managing clients. I hate talking to people and I just want to do my own thing. And so like at the time, I was running the agency, but then I was like, I really want to like start up my own thing. You know, I feel like once you kind of like start your own businesses, it's kind of hard to go back to working for other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I kind of use that as just like an experience of learning the platform. And then in June, I came about my business idea, which is it's called Tannies. It's a tanning gummy. And so I was
tanning gummy?
Yeah. Did I not tell you?
I don't think you told me about this.
Did I not tell you this?
Maybe we briefly went over it.
Yeah, but it's a tanning gummy. It's exactly what it sounds like. I basically saw a TikTok with like 8 million views of a chick who like held up these like 2 supplements and was like, I got tan by taking these 2 supplements for like 30 days. And then at the time, like gummies were really big. So creatine gummies, like everything was like being gummified. So I was like, you know what? If this video got 8 million views and everyone in the comments were like, where do I buy this? And if I put it in a gummy form, no, people would buy it. And so that's kind of what I did. So like I came up with the idea in June, and then we launched on September 15th. And within
last year,
2024.
Oh, nice. And so what was that? Less than a year ago.
Yeah, less
It's like
than a year
9
ago.
months.
Uh-huh.
And what are you guys doing a month right now?
Around like 150K.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We had the first like 3 months we did like 500 grand. So like within the first 22 days of launching, we hit our first 100 grand. And it was just purely off just affiliate videos. So we had like 25 different creators on retainer. And then we paid them like a 30% commission too. Instead, they were like super heavily incentivized to post videos. And the cool thing is like once a video pops off, you just send that video to all of your other creators and tell them to recreate it. And so I remember within our first week of launching, we had this one chick, her name's Summer. She made a video talking about like gummies that can make you tan. And it was stitching this like video of this doctor talking about like astaxanthin, which is one of the ingredients, how it can increase pigment in your skin. And she made a stitch to that talking about like tannies and how it can make you tan. And that video got like, I think like 300,000 views. And so we just basically took that video, told all our creators and be like, hey, you know, this video got 300,000 views. It generated her like $5,000 in commission. Go recreate it. And for the next 72 hours, we're going to increase your commission from 30% to 35%. To further like incentivize them to post as many different videos as possible.
Yeah.
And so I think at one point we had like 1,500 affiliates just ripping content. And then we just took the top performing videos, got the Spark code for it, and then just like ran those as ads to further after the organic views died.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And it's still, is that strategy still going? Oh, they just got rid of actual
so
ads,
it's only
right?
GMV max now.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, this was like almost a year ago. I think it's a little bit more different now in the sense that it's kind of harder to get creators to want to work with you.
Really hard.
Really fucking hard.
Especially the good ones.
Yeah, because they're all flocking to the goalies, the Nellos, like the big brand, Neurogum, the big brands who are paying, you know, giving them fucking Brickell apartments, you know, like, and Porsches and all this sort of shit. And so I see like a huge transition nowadays to like kind of like clipping, where with like AI, I think that's what we're like really going. Like right now we have like 5 creators versus like back then at our peak we had like 40 on retainer, and it was just a bitch to manage. You know, creators have a lot of ego. They always want more. You always have to like give up, you know, a large percentage of your margin to make them happy. And so I think now with like AI, we're really testing AI videos and creating hundreds of videos a day and just posting them on as many shop accounts as possible.
And okay, 2 questions on that. You think they're good enough to like convert?
Yeah.
Are you? What are you using? What tools?
Oh, well, I'm using like the tool that I.
Oh, what you made?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay,
I don't mean to set up a plug.
No, so tell everyone what you're working on, because I agree. Like, if it works, that's fucking game changer.
Yeah. So I mean, it actually got inspired by my buddy who runs a supplement brand, and he launched a new SKU, and all his videos are AI videos, and his top video was just a video of an AI woman talking on stage with just like, you know, talking about how like, you know, if you want your immunity, it's not beets, it's not, you know, turmeric, all that sort of stuff. And I saw that and I was like, how do I actually recreate this, but like make it 5,000 videos a month?
Yeah.
And you know, there's a bunch of other tools out there like HeyGen, ArcAds, Make UGC, but you're only limited to like 20 videos a month. And so I basically made like a AI UGC tool that lets you create unlimited videos. So you can make like, you know, those green screen AI videos with a corner person with like a slideshow or a video. You can customize it however you want. You can, literally create 1,000 videos a day.
That seems like it'd be the best strategy, the green screen. Because I remember like Neurogum, all of their best videos were like clips, like a Shark Tank clip,
Yeah.
and a Joe Rogan clip.
Yeah.
And so if you're pulling stuff that people recognize, and then you're just throwing your little AI avatar in the corner,
100%.
that seems like it'd be super effective.
Dude, the founder actually did a podcast with the founder of Iconic, like the Canvas. I don't know if you know what that company, but
is it Open Residency, that one?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah. Firepod.
One of the best business podcasts I've seen.
100%. I mean, he explained it super well.
Yeah.
He just tries to get as much content as possible out there, with like Steve Aoki, Shark Tank, Joe Rogan, all that sort of stuff. And he knows that his creators are just going to clip it and just post it. And that's like their strategy, And so like for us, I mean, we don't have Shark Tank or Joe Rogan. And so we're just like, if we post 5,000 videos out there a month, like something has to go viral.
Yeah.
And so like, I know a lot of people talk about like quality over quantity, but I'm a big believer in that, quantity. If you post enough quantity, you'll find some quality.
I fully agree.
Yeah.
You need to. They're like, half decade ago, you'd see brands that were doing $1 million a month and they'd have 30 creatives running.
Yeah.
If you're doing $1 million a month these days, you need like fucking 300, 1,000. Like, we're at capped. Do you ever get capped on your ad limit?
We don't really run ads.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, we don't really run ads. We probably spend like...
Why don't you take your best TikTok shop videos and run ads on those?
We do, but our GMV max doesn't spend that much. Do you know what I'm saying?
on Meta.
We do, yeah, but we can't scale past like $2,000 a day.
Why?
I don't know.
What, without ROAS dipping, you mean?
Yeah.
Interesting. But if they're that great on TikTok Shop, you'd think that they'd be
so we
really
our best creative is from TikTok Shop.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we just can't. I mean, I got to talk to my ad guy about this. But yeah, anytime we just like try to scale past $2,000 a day on Meta, it just like tanks performance for some reason.
I've heard from someone, I forget who it was. I was listening. No, it was a podcast. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was watching a podcast and someone was saying something similar, and they were saying that there's kind of just like this cliff,
mm-hmm.
and you have to just fucking force your way past it, and then you even start to see better results. Like, you might be at like a 3x ROAS at $2K a day,
mm-hmm.
and then you start going past that, you get to like 2,500, 3,000.
Is that what you're running at?
Huh?
You're running at a 3?
We're doing like...
I mean, a great day for us is like a 2.5.
We're at like a 3, and I think we're doing like 4 or 5K a day on sped. I'm trying to crank that past, though.
Yeah.
That being said, though, I have much higher AOV potential because I have multiple products.
Yeah.
But like, you don't have to worry about like refunds and shit like that. You know what I mean? So it's just a different business model. I think in general,
yeah, we just try to get subscription.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So it's definitely much different. But what this guy was saying is that like he was stuck there forever. He just said, fuck it, and forced past it. And
just like toggled spend or something.
He just like forced his way past it. And then once he got up to like 7K a day in spend, his ROAS actually started going up.
Interesting.
Which was so interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
yeah, I'm not the best like Facebook ads guy. I think like where I'm really good at is like just like organic.
I got a buddy I'll connect you with. Stud dude. He lives here in Austin. He's like, yeah, you would never know this dude's doing like couple million a month. I don't want to say his name because I don't think so. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
He's doing a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
And you're like, what the like when you hear
is it like a boring business?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like one of those businesses where I know a couple guys like this. They're Facebook monsters,
mm-hmm.
and they have businesses that have so little brand that like anyone could low key go in and like rip off their product.
But it's just like marketing and
results.
Distribution.
More of like product market fit, honestly. Like I know this one guy in San Diego who showed me his Shopify. He's doing 2.7 million a month, I think it was when he showed me. This was like 6 months ago.
Damn.
2.7 million a month. So like I saw it was real. He showed me his dashboard and everything. I'm like, dude, what's the product? He goes, I'm never going to show a soul product. I said, I don't care if you're my fucking brother. He's like, I'm not telling anyone what this is because he has no brand. He literally told me, he's like, bro, I don't have a brand like you. Like, that's the thing. Like,
what's his goal with it? Just to sell it?
He's gonna say that's what he does, bro. He's hella successful. Like he finds a product that's so niche. It's usually products that are like
subscription based or no?
No. It's usually products that hit like one of the insecurities that you were talking about
to like an older demographic.
Yeah, like 40 and 50.
Yeah, those are honestly
women.
the goated demo.
40, 50, 6-year-old women, bro, they have money.
Yeah.
They're tweaking their balls. They're tweaking hard. They're tweaking their balls off because they're reaching an age where their looks severely start to decline. And this sounds so horrible, but like you're really at like probably peak insecurity when you're at like 50 years old as a woman, because
hopefully there's no 50-year-old woman watching this.
No, and it's really sad, but it makes sense like from a bird's eye view, right? Like you're kind of you're past your peak. You're maybe starting to worry, like if you're not married yet, you start really tweaking about being alone. You start tweaking about being menopause, being left by your husband, all these things. It's really sad. But like that is like probably the most sensitive decade of a woman's life, in my opinion.
I agree.
And they also have money. And also, really unfortunately, they're very gullible. Like it is really hard to convince young guys and girls to buy, especially guys. It's so hard to convince young men to buy shit because our egos we're
very logical.
We're logical, but there's also like there's ego involved.
Yeah.
Like you'll always see in the description of TikTok shop videos, how do I buy this without giving you commission? Right?
Yeah,
like,
I've seen those.
You'll see a product, and the TikTok shoppers these days are so good. You'll be like, damn, that's actually pretty, like I might actually need that. That's a fire phone stand, or that's a fire supplement.
Yeah.
But you just don't want to give that guy a commission.
Which is
crazy.
You're like,
fuck this guy, right? You're like, I want that product, but I'm not going to buy it because I don't want this guy to make some money. And if you think about it, that's so bizarre, and it's so rooted in ego, and it's just dumb, honestly. But it's pretty hard to sell to young guys because they're so understanding of the consumer psychology and these tricks that these TikTok shoppers are playing to get you to purchase.
Yeah.
Whereas like 40 and 50-year-old women, I mean, bro, like it's probably really easy to sell. I don't even sell to them, so this is just what I've heard. It's like really easy to sell to them.
Yeah, I'm thinking of starting like a new brand, like a protein coffee brand, and I might just market it to like that demo.
But do you really think like 40 and 50-year-old women would want protein coffee?
Yeah, if you market it as a way to help them boost their metabolism, I think it would work.
Weight loss coffee.
Without saying that it's weight loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, that's...
Because you know how like Ozempic is huge right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that whole like Nature's Ozempic angle work on TikTok. But there's a brand called Yerba Magic, and they sell a yerba mate powdered tea product. And like yerba mate, traditionally, it's for energy and focus.
Yeah.
But the entire selling angle for that product is Nature's Ozempic. How like you drink this and like it shrinks you, kind of thing.
Interesting.
So I might try that out with a buddy.
My mentor just sent me he's texted me and my co-founder yesterday. He's like, you guys got to check this out. It's this company that makes tank tops that make you sweat more. And they're doing like...
Yeah, this goes back to like the whole angle thing.
I got to check this. He told me, he's like, bro, this company's doing like... It was either like 100 or 200 million a year.
What?
Yeah, let's see what he said. I don't know.
Tank tops that make you sweat.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but he said...
That's insane.
3 million units sold. So I don't know.
On TikTok?
No, overall. I think they just launched. It's got a horrible name. I don't want to call them out in my opinion, but it's got a really weird name. And they've sold 3 million units. And I'm looking at their creatives and stuff. I'm like, bro, these are fucking not that good.
Why the fuck would you want to sweat more?
It's a tank top that you put on, and it's got like plastic on the inside, so you just start sweating like crazy. Probably really bad for you, to be honest. There's probably gonna be studies that come out that it's bad for you, I would imagine. But
what's the benefit?
you sweat. It's the weight loss tank top. Like it just makes you sweat hella. So that was my point here. It's
I've
like
seen something
that's why
similar.
it's doing so well.
Yeah,
is
I've seen something
because
similar.
there's so many people that are seeing it. I want to lose weight. That's like really the most like lucrative insecurity.
It's the best marketing.
And so that's what my point here is like this guy that I know that does like, almost 3 million a month. He makes these products that are super niche that solve the insecurities of like very specific demographics that are not normally targeted.
Yeah.
He runs them up
Yeah.
and then he'll go and he'll exit for like 20 or 30 million after start, like less than 12 months after starting it.
Yeah.
Absurd. He already has the private, like he has like the deals with the private equity companies. They know him. They've already vetted him. So
he just built it. Yeah. And then
his acquisition process is like max a couple of months. Because he just does it with the same company over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And what he'll do is he'll like get the product off the ground. He'll prove product market fit. He'll prove that he's able to scale it fast. Yeah. And then they'll come in and they'll turn it into an actual brand later down the line.
He's just acquisition maxing.
Exactly. So he has no brand on these products.
That's awesome. That's actually a great model to be honest.
Yeah, he's a genius. And that's why he like won't tell me or anyone because he's like, bro, you could steal it. He's like, no one can go steal Haas, bro. Like no one can go compete and take your customers if you keep your brand and you keep them happy.
Well, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
If you tried to sell Haas tomorrow, do you think a big thing that they would object is because your name is too attached to it?
I don't think so at all because my name's like really not attached to it these days. Like, sure, I talk about it and stuff, but like all of the sales, maybe like 80 to 90% of the sales came from me in year one.
Yeah.
My platform, it was like merch essentially.
Yeah.
All of year two, I essentially completely removed myself from the business.
Got it. I
wasn't on the Instagram. I wasn't on the website anywhere. I wasn't even making ads anymore, not even TikTok shop videos for quite some time. And what happened is not only did the business's income drop a ton and growth slowed because it was relying on me, but also my personal income slowed a lot because I was making commissions off of it. But it was absolutely necessary.
You made commissions off your own company?
Yeah, because I'd make TikTok because I've never paid myself a salary until recently.
Okay.
So instead of paying myself a salary, I looked at it as like, okay, let me just post a TikTok shop video. Smart. If it makes the business $10,000, I get $1,500, 15%. That's how I pay the bills.
Smart.
And I ensure that the company's making money.
Yeah.
And so I removed myself from the business and it could totally survive without me. That being said, I just brought in like the old number 2 from ASRV. I think I told you about that. And literally on our call yesterday, I do like a leadership call with him every week. And he was like, bro, I'm not going to lie. Like your business is fucking chaos, bro. He's like, what you've built is amazing. And he's like, he only joined, like this dude is managing 60, 70 people at a $80 million a year company. Like the only reason he joined is because he really does believe in me and the vision and the team and what we can accomplish. But that being said, he's like, dude, he's like, this shit is chaos, bro. He's like, you have no systems, you have no SOPs, you have no, he's like, you have no like structure in terms of like, if someone new were to come in, the only way they would figure out what was going on is if like the person before them had explained it to them, but that puts you at risk. And I was like, dude, I mean, that's why you're here. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So that's why we brought him in, is because he's Mr. SOP, right? So like he's really had a
try to get that Instagram handle for him.
Mr. SOP. Yeah, that'll be his birthday. That's
kind of hard.
That'll be his birthday present. But like, I know what I'm good at. I'm good at yapping. I'm good at talking. I'm good at bringing people together. I'm good at telling
the male
story.
version of Shelby Saff.
Yeah, bro. I'm good at selling, bro. I'm the salesman. And when I sat down with this guy, he literally told me that. He's like, bro, you're good at selling. Like my job coming in is to make sure that you never have to worry about anything on the back end.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think it's super important. I think like with every single successful company, there's the visionary and then there's like the guy, what do you call it? Visionary and operator.
Yeah, the operator. Exactly.
Yeah. So I think it's important. You can't have one without the other.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely need both. And usually like what's really great is, in my opinion, when you have a visionary, an operator, and then a product guy. So I actually think like a 3-headed dragon is the best, because then everyone can really just focus on their strengths.
For
right?
sure.
One guy creates something that everyone wants to use, whether it's a physical product, whether it's some sort of tech. One guy is in charge of selling that vision to the world. Setting the pace, that's super important. Obviously, that's the leader, the CEO's job. Determining like the tone of the culture and making sure shit's getting done on time, being super aggressive. And then the operator, which is like making sure that the lights stay on.
Yeah.
And then eventually finance guy.
Yeah. But I think if an interesting exercise for anyone who's actually trying to start something is use AI as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I do, and I've tested this out too, and it works amazing, is go on a website called Fastmoss. Do you know what that? Yeah. Go on a website called Fastmoss and then just find a trending product. So maybe it's, I'm trying to think of something right now, like an NAD product, like so it ties into anti-aging, right? Go transcribe the top 5 videos, put it in ChatGPT, and be like, based on these viral videos and product, tell me exactly why people are buying so much of it and what is the main problem it solves. And then once it, it spits it out, it's like anti-aging, feeling like themselves again, blah, blah, blah. Then you can ask it, be like, okay, based on everything give me product ideas that solve a similar problem as this. And I'll list out like a bunch of different products. And then what you can do is like, okay, let's say it's, methylene blue, right? You can then take that product, go on Amazon, look at what the search volume is, go on Google Trends, see if it's on the up and up, go on TikTok, see if there's, existing viral videos on it, and just kind of validate it and see, what are the angles that I can, if everyone's doing a capsule or drops, can you do a capsule or a gummy, right?
Yeah.
If everyone's marketing to men, can you market it to women? So just kind of find those little pockets. But yeah, I would heavily use ChatGPT and AI to find like product ideas based on viral scripts of winning products.
For everything. Like if you're not using one, I'm really glad you brought that up. If you're starting a business in this day and age and you're not using, I'm gonna say, let me know if I'm missing any. ChatGPT number 1, Fastmoss. Honestly, even like what's that one like viral, the
Daily Virals?
Daily Virals.
Yeah.
Particle. Like
never used that one.
You've never used Particle? Particle's like
I know what it is.
Okay, yeah. So for everyone watching, Particle, especially for clothing brands, it's great. Any e-commerce business, if you want to go look at the data of your competitors, use Particle.
Use code SQUID for it.
Yeah, use code SQUID. Those guys love me because I shout them out all the time. But and I'll if you're watching this, Tanner, I'll send you the invoice right after this. But yeah, essentially what you can do is like, for example, clothing. If I were to just say, oh, I want to drop a pair of royal blue sweats because I think it'd look cool, I'm almost asking to lose money. So what I would want to do is I'd use Particle to look at all of my competitors. So I'd look at like Aloe, Vuori, Lulu, maybe ASRV, Gymshark, whatever.
Yeah.
And you'd look for like, what are their best selling products?
Yeah, 100%.
And then what are the best selling colors? And then you would copy those or maybe make them better. But if you're not using data tools and AI on a daily basis, you're asking to lose.
Yeah.
Like someone else will beat you. It's the equivalent in this day and age of like trying to cut down a tree with a knife and then somebody else has like a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Like you're cooked, analogy, bro. Like you're just
Dude, you can use AI to build your entire brand. Like find your product, ask AI to help you create a clinically dosed formula. So that's what I do. I just type in, help me create a clinically dosed formula for, blank. And then once it spits that out, you say like, give me 10 contract manufacturers in the United States that can make this. Bang, you got your list. You can say like, help me create a manufacturer outreach template, including my formula, keep it short. Bang, you got your template, you send it off. And then with your mock-up, what you can do is like, for example, if I'm selling the methylene blue, you can say something like, based on, I am launching a methylene blue gummy product. Based on what help me create a buyer persona, right? It spits out that buyer persona. And then you can say like, help me create a brand and packaging guideline. Bang, you got that. Based on your packaging guideline, help me create a prompt to input to create my packaging mockup.
Yeah.
And then it creates a packaging mockup. And then what you can do too for ad creatives is like go on, why am I blanking? Facebook ad library, it's a free tool. Go look at, brands that are crushing on Meta, like, Groons.
Or Atria.
Yeah. Do that. Screenshot the image and then replace it with the text and benefits and mock-up of your product.
Yeah.
So like, there you go, bang, you got ad creatives.
ChatGPT will literally tell you how to build a business, and the only part that's going to be left to you is actually going through and doing it, and maybe coming up with like your angle.
Yeah.
I haven't seen ChatGPT. I haven't seen AI tools that are good enough to actually come up with a good angle yet. That's where you need to get creative.
Yeah, I think so I have a Claude prompt. Do you use Claude?
Not as much as I should.
Claude is a lot better at
Dude, could you send me your prompt actually?
Yeah. I have an entire project with like everything with my brand, YouTube videos on like how to write good scripts, hooks, storytelling, all that stuff. I have a 13-page document of just like viral scripts. And then all I got to do to get scripts is like help me create and my buyer persona. And then I just say like, help me come up with 3 viral TikTok angles based on my buyer persona's most pressing insecurity. And so it spits out like 3 different angles. And then what I do now is I take those 3 angles, I come up with like, scripts, and then I use like my AI tool and I just create like hundreds of videos based on those 3. And then I test, and then I see which angle actually works the best. So for example, for Tannies right now, it's, are you scared of getting burnt in the sun? For some reason, that just works. So like acting as what do you call it? Nature sunscreen. Yeah. So that angle is really working. But we tested like 5 different angles, and that one just worked the best. So then now we're doubling down on that angle, but testing different avatars, changing the hook, changing part of the body, and like optimizing stuff. But like we just try to test as many different angles as possible, and then once it works, we just kind of double it down and change the format.
Yeah, that's fire. I'm gonna have to get that out. That one thing that I'm trying to get better at is figuring out how to fully utilize Claude, right? Because Hudson always tells me, he's like, you got to be using Claude. I'm just like, I try it.
I honestly think Claude is a lot better than ChatGPT.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, ChatGPT can just make images, but yeah.
So how many employees do you have right now?
None.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we have
I have fucking 12.
4 contractors, and that's it.
It's why that's the thing. Everyone's watching this. Like, Jake Levy as well. Like, no employees, I'm pretty sure, does $300-400K a month. Like, you really can build a business to a couple million a year by yourself.
100%. Especially with AI now.
Yeah,
you can do it all, pretty much.
So,
but I also think it depends on what kind of business you want to build.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to just be building a business that generates cash flow, does a couple $100,000 a month, great. If you want to build a $10 million a year company, that's a whole different approach.
For sure.
Or
a brand, if you really want to build like a really strong brand, you need a lot of alternating opinions.
Exactly. Yeah. Like for example, like for the brand that I'm running right now, like I don't really want to build it into like a crazy big brand or like attach kind of like my name behind it.
So your goal's an exit?
Yeah.
Again, for this one?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
But then like the protein coffee idea that I'm playing around with, that is something that like I use every single day, and I can see myself running that business for like the next 5 years and like selling it for like $100 million.
Okay, so final like 2 questions or so. How many different things are you working on right now?
3.
I'm the same way. I work on like a ton of different shit because I get bored, but
I get so bored.
Is that your reason as well? Like people always ask me that. Don't you think if you just did one thing, you could go further? But
I 100% agree that you should just do one thing. I literally told myself that I would not do more than like 2 things, but here we are. But for some reason, I manage my time a lot better, if that makes sense. Because like if you're juggling like 3 things, you're like, okay, Monday, I got to get this shit done. Tuesday, I got to focus on this. Wednesday, I got to do this. Versus like if you're working, at least for me, and like there's no right answer. But if I'm working on one thing, I will procrastinate my dick off to like I'll just take so much time for me to get one thing done.
I agree, dude. And if you are really good, like on the topic of focusing on what you're good at and your skill sets, sometimes there's just not enough for you to do. Like from like a selling perspective, like I completely agree. If you're good at one thing and you can do that in multiple different businesses, like that's going to make you really good at that one thing for each of those businesses.
Yeah, but I would not recommend someone just starting out to do 3 things.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, you definitely got to.
But I think for you and me, it's like everything is connected.
Yeah.
And so like if one thing does well, it trickles down to the other projects.
100%.
So that's kind of how I think about it. It's like if I build a good brand, more people are going to see that I'm building a cool brand to sign up for the tool, you know, all that sort of stuff. But if I was just starting out, I mean, no one knows who the fuck I am. So I would just focus on doing one thing really well and just stick to that.
Hell yeah, bro. Well, dude, I appreciate you coming on. This is great.
Thanks
Lots
for
of
having
sauce.
me.
Hope everyone watching learned something or got something out of it. I just told Damien he's got to start posting on socials a lot more, and he's been doing, like, his videos are sauce. So I'm gonna link all of this stuff down below. We'll drop this video as soon as I get it, honestly, and then go give him a follow on all his pages. And once again, if you guys made it to the end, if you're a killer, like we had over 1,000 people apply since I started it. There's only about 56, 57 guys in the group, I think, right now. But if you're a killer, if you're a monster, and you want to be a part of Outliers, I'll leave a link to apply below as well. But
thanks for having me, bro.